Greetings of the day, student. I, Asmita Patil, welcome you all to Chapter 2, Staffing of the Front Office. In this particular chapter, we are going to learn about calculating staff requirement for front office staff and uniform staff, duty rotas for front office staff and uniform staff, staffing guidelines for uniform staff and front desk, time and motion study in business hotels, resorts for check-in and check-out. Calculating staff requirement for front office staff and uniform staff. No matter how well designed a system may be, it can only be as good as the people who run it. As we have seen, competent, well-motivated staff are an essential element of any successful service operation. This is a matter of selecting the right people, giving them the right equipment, inducting and training them properly, and letting them go on with it. As a rooms division manager, you have to ask following questions while calculating staff requirement. How many staff are required? What kind of recruits are needed? What special training requirements do they have? So, the well-motivated staff are an integral element of any successful service operation. After identifying the need of this staff, it is the responsibility to prepare a specimen of a job description to understand the actual requirement of the number of people. As a front office department, there are certain few important duties that the reception person has to do. Advance booking, switchboard, reception, billing, cashier, uniform staff. In a larger hotel, there will be a separate section where all supervisors will take care of their particular areas. But in smaller establishment, all the duties may have to be undertaken by a single receptionist who may find herself taking bookings, registering arrivals, putting calls through, posting charges and taking payments at different times. The management staff must be available to deal with the major problems of the guests. Even in a large hotel, it's a good policy to move front office staff around so that they can experience different aspects of the job. This helps to maintain their interest and enthusiasm and also increases staff flexibility and improves their promotion prospects. Some such hotels start a new staff in the back office so that they can learn about the rooms and the systems in operations before going on to reception to meet real life customers on a face-to-face basis. So the next point is the availability of the management staff with the guest problem. So I have already discussed that the special staff has to be there to deal with the problems of the guest. Next point. The requirement for the smaller and larger organization for number of staff will be different because the level of operations are different, the level of automation is different. So based on all these points, the requirement for the front office staff and uniform staff is calculated. Planning duty roster. Duty rosters specify the allotment of jobs, hours of duty, and days off for each member of this staff. To make for an even share of duties, the roster should be rotated every 5 weeks. Duty rosters must be simple in format, easy to interpret, clearly written, and displayed on the staff notice board at least a week in advance. Here you can see a sample of a duty roster. Now, advantages of having a duty rosters. When you are planning a duty roster, it helps to ensure the exact number of staff to be on duty at any given occupancy, working hours as per the employment contract, regular off days for enhancing productivity, employees on the job, accuracy in attendance and payroll reports. Duty rotas for front office staff and uniform staff. What are the steps in making duty roster? Check the occupancy levels and number of events expected in the hotel. Spread of duty hours to be scheduled in the duty roster. Type of shift, whether it is general shift, morning shift, afternoon shift or night shift. Ascertain the number of labor hours per day per week. Include coffee breaks and mealtime allowances. Generally, coffee breaks are for 15 minutes and meal time is 30 to 45 minutes. Check number of weekly offs and closed days and restricted holidays. Generally, on 26th January and 15th August, you have very less number of staff working in the hotel. Staffing guidelines for uniform staff and front desk. How many receptionists are needed? This is very difficult to say. An old rule of thumb was that a receptionist ought to be able to handle 50 to 60 occupied rooms. However, this formula excluded switchboard operators and back office staff. If the receptionist was also required to handle guest billing and cashiering duties, the ratio would have to be substantially reduced. Let us see few more points of staffing guidelines. First, the occupancy rate. Empty rooms do not give rise to any clerical activities or customer contact. The average length of stay. Guests who stay for 7 nights on inclusive terms put less of a burden on front office than 1 night stays. The pattern of activity. Most hotels experience departure and arrival peaks in the early morning and the later afternoon, and these may call for extra staff to be on duty. Resort hotels may have similar weekend peaks. On the other hand, a busy airport hotel may have a much more even distribution of arrivals and departures. The amount of personal contact required. This can be reduced by various means. Groups can be pre-registered or some of the formalities can be looked after by the group organizers. Automated check-in and check-out can reduce the amount of time the guest needs to spend at reception. Experienced FITs, that is frequent independent travelers, may welcome such innovations, but other guests still prefer the personal touch, and contact times should allow for the pleasantries which help to create that impression of hospitality. The character of the hotel. A few minutes wait might be acceptable in a small country hotel catering for a leisure market, whereas it is quite inappropriate in a busy city center environment. Luxury hotels, in particular, must try to avoid exposing their guests to the indigeneity of having to queue even for a few minutes. Next point, the technology being employed. Manual methods are more expensive in terms of clerical time than mechanized or computerized ones. Automated telephone exchange reduce the number of telephonists required, for instance, and point of sale terminals can considerably reduce the amount of voucher posting that has to be done. The best way to approach the question of staffing requirements is to consider what has to be done and when it must be done. This should be determined by the guest needs, not the hotel's. The guest wants to be checked in smoothly on arrival, shown to a clean, vacant room, allowed to eat, drink, and enjoy an undisturbed night's sleep, and then checked out again swiftly and efficiently when he leaves, and it is up to the hotel to arrange its staff schedule to make sure that this happens smoothly. Time and motion study in business hotel resorts for check-in and check-out. Let us see the concept of motion study. Motion study is the sequence of eliminating wastefulness resulting from using unwanted steps. The aim of motion study is to identify the scheme of work or the best suited method of doing a given work. The steps involved in motion study are as follows: selecting an efficient worker, analyzing the movement involved, recording the best motion involving the minimum time and effort, selecting the most efficient working system. These work measurement techniques help in determining the best method of doing a work and the standard time allowed for it. It is one of these rules that the standard is set. The time and motion studies for a task calculate how long it takes on an average to perform a certain task. Let's see the example of time and motion study for check-in. The standard time set for check-in is 25 minutes. In first 10 minutes, the reception person welcomes the guest, completes the registration process. Next 5 minutes are utilized for completion of bell desk activities, and the bellboy does the rooming of the guest in next 10 minutes. Let us see the time study. Time study is mostly observing and recording the time required for performing each detailed task of an operation. It involves the following steps: dividing the work into various parts or components, recording the time taken by different employees in completing the task, selecting the average worker, recording the time taken by the average worker to perform similar work under normal conditions, and setting up the standard time. Every worker is required to complete the work within the standard time. Here I have quoted an example of time and motion study for checkout. The standard time set for checkout is 15 minutes. So in first 6 minutes, the reception person calls the checkout room guest, inform all the POS, that is point of sale terminal, about checkout of that particular guest room. Next 2 minutes are given for getting the guest luggage from the room to the lobby, and last 7 minutes are utilized in settlement of guest bills and departure of guest. A picture of a busy reception area. Thank you, students.